Girl, you do need makeup. Lots and lots of makeup. Think of a clown and then work your way back. Sorry, that's just what was in my head when I was doing my makeup this morning. I'm like, maybe a touch of clown today, but you know, we're filming, so maybe it'll translate better on camera than it is to my mirror. Not totally unrelated to the subject of today's video, but we will get to it. I hope you are all having a wonderful January. I haven't uploaded too much, but I have been busy. I've got quite a few samples, bottles, things coming your way, but I'm really taking my time and appreciating what I've gotten, and that way I can speak with some intelligence on the things that I've been sampling. So the one that I want to talk to you about today, I decided to make a dedicated video on and just do a full review for you. So this is from Etat Libre d'Orange, which, putting aside my French accent, which I'm sure you have heard, and what's the opposite of appreciated, been repulsed by in the past. I don't love that name. I have to Google it like every time to make sure that it is correct. I think it's a little bit long. Anyway, that's the name. It's a French brand. Prior to sampling this at Pickwicks, which is the first time I was able to actually try any, I was familiar with the brand because I had seen their ads on Facebook, and you probably have too. They're really jarring. They go for the shock value. So I think the first one I had seen was maybe I Am Trash, which gets pretty high reviews. I think it goes for like a slightly spoiled fruit type of angle, and I'm interested in that. But they kind of take a shocking picture and they put a shocking name to try to attract the attention. And this one does have a shocking name, although it is in French. So the one that I tried at Pickwicks was Putain Des Palaces. Again, my lovely French. Try not to fall in love with me. Anyway, this is the only one that I tried from the brand that day. The fellow sprayed it on a paper, handed it to me. I got one whiff of it and I immediately said, no, and just handed it back. And that's because the first whiff that I got was just straight baby wipes. As you know, I'm a mom. I smelled baby wipes. I just handed it back. It was a little bit alcoholic. It was that first spritz, and it just, you know, Pampers went into my brain. And as soon as I handed it back, he said, oh yes, that one's a very intense powder. And when he said intense powder, I started churning that around in my brain, and I wondered if I had judged it a little bit too quickly, because even though I thought baby wipes, you know, powder's kind of fun, powder's kind of pretty, maybe I should have given it a minute. And since then, it has been still kicking around in my brain. And I really lack powder in my collection, like a straight powder like that just really goes for it. I have a lot of perfumes that dry down with maybe a touch of that powdery edge to them, but not like an intense powder. So I thought, hell, it's January. We got nothing to do except, you know, spray and enjoy perfumes. Let's give this one another chance. So I did go out and I ordered a full bottle. So just to give you some background too, price-wise, this is the 50 milliliter, and I paid a little less than 100. I signed up for the mailing list and got like that initial in the door discount. But the prices for this particular brand, considering they are a niche, is not bad. They're more in line with like an expensive designer, ranging between like 90 and 150, depending on the size. And as I said, you can get codes. It arrived very quickly. Shipping time was good. I feel like, again, the price was fair. I was a little disappointed that this is the only one that I got with no samples. You know, I order from a lot of sites and a lot of houses, and I've just kind of come to expect that I'm also going to get samples from the rest of the house. And since this house is new to me, I was a little disappointed that I just got my bottle and nothing else. But let's just talk about the one that I did get. So, straight powder. That's what I was looking for. So that's not a disappointment. So the other notes, I'm going to put them up on screen, but basically there's also, there's supposed to be like a flowery and then this musky note to it. So what they want you to envision is that you are a palace courtesan. So there's a fanciness implied here, a makeup edge implied here, and then this little courtesan sauciness mixed in there too. So they want you're getting ready, you're very fancy, you're beautifully dressed up, but then you've got your lovers. And then this is what you smell like at the end of the night. So the vanity piece, the putting the makeup on, the powdery piece, I absolutely get that. There's also like this iris note into it too. Oh, I'm sorry, violet note into it too. And I do get that too. I think that violet really plays into the dryness. It's very dry powder. Yeah. So I think that plays in very well. Do I get the muskiness? Not really, and I don't think I'm alone on that. It does seem from some of the feedback on Fragrantica that a lot of folks just say it's a boring, it's a straight powder. It's not that animalistic muskiness that I was hoping for. I wasn't necessarily going for that piece of it. It would have been cool if I got it. I always appreciate a nice musk, but I really was more interested in getting straight powder. I did wear this for pretty much a week. I mixed in some other perfumes at the time because, as I said, I am trying a bunch of stuff right now, but on and off for a week, I've been spraying this. I sprayed it right before the video too. The first time I wore it, I was pretty pleased. It was really that dry powder that I was looking for. It wasn't too complex. I got a little bit of the violet. There's supposed to be a leather. I got a little bit of the leather too, but mostly powder. And I felt like, I didn't feel like a baby. I did feel like I was a fancy courtesan getting ready for the ball in that sense, and I liked it. And I wore it outside that day, got some whiffs of it. I was pleased. Ciliage though, I have asked people around me, hey, can you smell me? Hey, can you smell me? And really, no. So that was disappointing. And then, and this might just be my weirdness, I have never gone nose blind to a fragrance as quickly as I've gone nose blind to this. Day one, it was there. It was absolutely there. As the week went on, I could not smell it anymore. And I'm a mom. I've changed a lot of diapers. So maybe it's just that I'm so, and it's been a while, but maybe my brain is just so accustomed to that wipe smell that, sorry, my camera died for a second. Anyway, maybe my brain is just so accustomed to that baby wipe powdery smell that it's just something I can very easily filter out. You know, maybe my brain is protecting me from all those piles of diaper memories, or it's just such a common smell, at least in my past, that I can filter it out very easily, which is disappointing and not something I want to necessarily hold against the perfume itself, but something that when I'm thinking about my collection, I have to keep in mind because I mostly wear my perfumes for me. So if I can't smell it, yeah. So what does that mean for this one? I'm not ditching it. We are still in this winter, you know, I'm going to be cold and outside. That's the best place to smell fragrances, I think. So I'm going to keep trying to get it back. You know, maybe I can train myself back up to smell it. But honestly, if by the spring I still can't smell it, it probably is something that I would trade or sell just because I need to be able to enjoy it for myself. And that's disappointing. I'm not quite sure, you know, if it's all powders. So if you do have any thoughts for me as far as other really intense powdery fragrances, please do leave them in the comments because that is really still something I'm searching for. And maybe, you know, even if this one didn't work out, I could try a next one. And if that one doesn't work out, yeah, maybe I'm not meant for powders, which would be disappointing. But that's how I feel about this one. If you do want a straight powder and you're not nose blind to it, I think this is definitely that. It's very a very intense dry powder. The price, as I mentioned, is not bad for the amount that you get. I am still open to this house. I'm certainly not writing them off just based on the fact that they didn't send me any samples, and this particular one might not be a fit for me. I'll probably smell some more in person and see if there's more hype behind this particular house than what I've seen so far. That is all for this one. If you like this video, please like it. Again, any feedback on the brand, thoughts about powdery perfumes, please leave them in my comments. If you enjoy fragrance content, blind buys, hauls, I've got a lot coming from all kinds of different places. I had some fun on Etsy this past month too, so some smaller houses. Anyway, please subscribe to Second is the Best. I upload whenever it strikes my fancy. I hope you are all staying warm if you're on the cold side of the planet right now. And I will see you in the next one.